begging you, not the Dario Argento version!
Turn the grasshopper, and we'll watch the movie again! Life at last!
This is an exciting new show all about Android Webber's quest to find the perfect lead singer and understudies for his new Phantom of the Opera sequel.
Next.
My name is Maria Canetto.
Christine. Oh, no, that won't do at all. You're nowhere near what we're looking for. I knew one day she would return to me. She will be my bride. I will teach you to sing, and you will watch Phantom movies with me.
If you could get me the lead role instead of frickin' Mr. Ganglegs or whatever he's called, I'd do anything.
Beneath the opera house, he's always there. He watches phantom films down in his lair. And though he's too ugly to e'er get laid, the phantom reviewer will watch each version made.
Scrap-a-da-dan, I'm going to the top, scrap-a-da.
You're the casting director, aren't you? I want Maria Cornetto cast as Christine in Phantom of the Opera 2 Love Never Dies, or you will die!
But it's promised to La Carlotta Obesito.
The role of Christine is Maria's. Only she can sing it. Anybody else who tries, dies.
My dear Maria, may I be the first to congratulate you on getting the part of Christine in Phantom 2?
Why, thank you, Mr.
I'm Frederick Forsythe, acclaimed multiple award-winning novelist and author of Phantom Manhattan, on which this fine production is being based. Have you read it?
No, I haven't, but I've heard a lot about it. I have a, friend who has read it, and he often talks about it, sometimes for hours at length.
Splendid, splendid. I'm so glad to be producing work that is so memorable.
Yeah, it's certainly, memorable.
What say we retreat to my place? I could help you practice your scales.
No, I'm fine, really. I'm having so much fun here.
Oh, I can show you fun, my child. I really could. I have a rather large trophy in my display cabinet. You could help me polish it if you like.
Is that the best double entendre you could come up with? I thought you were a good writer.
Well, if you're going to play hard to get, then good day to you.
What were you doing talking with that overrated hack?
Nothing. The guy's a creep and his breath smells like a warthog's armpit.
Frederick Forsythe is a vile and dangerous man. I've read his book and seen his soul. A man who can write such abominable horrors as Phantom of Manhattan is capable of evil beyond your imagination. I will not allow you to be distracted from your work, do you hear?
Okay, got it. Hey, thanks for your help getting me the lead role, by the way. But funny how the other 5 finalists disappeared.
I can assure you they've gone to a better place.
You mean...
Yes! They're auditioning for Les Miserables.
I don't believe you. There were police here this morning carrying out body after body. You killed them all, didn't you?
Everybody dies. I just choose the time and place for a few.
You're crazy. They were right. You have watched so many Phantom movies your mind has become unhinged. Get away from me. I don't need your help anymore. Mr. Forsythe. Oh, Frederick. Oh, take me away from this place.
I knew the old charms would have you running to my arms. Hey, wait a minute. You're not the driver. What's going on here? Stop, I say! What the dickens is going on here? Why this foolery? Help! Help me, I say! Help!
Silence, you untalented buffoon!
What's going on, reviewer? Why have you brought us to this place?
He has been brought down here to answer for his crimes against literature. And you, Christine, you have come to be my viewing partner forever. There are still some Phantom movies left to see. We still haven't watched Angel of Music.
Oh, no, you don't!
I saw. Take him in there and see that Mr. Forsythe is comfortable. Close your eyes and surrender to your darkest dreams.
This is ridiculous. How dare you bring me down here? I have committed no crime.
Phantom of Manhattan is a crime. It's a crime against literature. It's a crime against all that's holy.
You're just another Leroux fanboy who can't accept that his beloved Leroux novel is riddled with plot holes, paper-thin characters, and atrocious writing.
Shut up! Down here, only my opinions count. We shall see. For now, I shall briefly examine the Leroux novel. But there's little point in reviewing it in too much depth, because chances are, if you're into Phantom enough to care about all the crappy spin-offs, then you'll probably have already read the book. First published in 1910, following its serialization in newspaper, Gaston Leroux's novel sank into obscurity pretty quickly. If it wasn't for the success of the Lon Chaney movie in 1925, the story would probably have just disappeared without a trace. The Lon Chaney movie gave the novel a new lease of life that lasted for around 50 years or so before once again it started to disappear from the public consciousness. If it were not for Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical version, it probably wouldn't be anywhere near as well known as it is today. But is the novel any good? Well, it's okay. It's not a work of classic literature, but it's not horrible either. Sometimes I wonder why there's never been a straight, faithful adaptation of Leroux that follows the story exactly, and it got me thinking why this is, and I think it's down to the way he wrote it. Leroux wrote detective stories, he wrote mysteries, and so he's written the Phantom as a mystery. So effectively you've got Raoul, he's a detective character, and he's trying to make sense of all this craziness that's going on. So if you come to the story with no prior knowledge at all, like imagine you're back in 1911, whenever it was published, and you know nothing about the story, you think it's just a ghost story, so you slowly unravel the mystery with Raoul, which is great. The problem is, though, is that the story is now so famous, you've got prior knowledge before you even read a line. You know that it's a guy, a disfigured guy, wearing a mask beneath the opera, so all this mystery stuff is pretty redundant. It's like, have you ever read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the original novel? It's similar with that. It's told from the perspective of a character who doesn't know what's going on. I think it's Mr. Utterson, is it? I can't remember. And he's unravelling this mystery as he goes. He's totally baffled by everything, and it's not until the end when you get the revelation that Jekyll and Hyde are actually the same. If you were reading that for the first time with no prior knowledge, that would absolutely blow your mind. But because it's so famous now, we know that it's Jekyll and Hyde are the same people, so the movies always focus on Jekyll, show his experiment, show him changing into Mr. Hyde and everything. It's pointless telling it from the point of view of Utterson, because it's not a mystery to the viewer anymore. We know what's going on. It's a bit like Psycho. When people first saw it, again, it blew their minds because they weren't expecting the killer to be who it was. And that's why Hitchcock wouldn't let people into the cinemas once the film had started, but because the ending is so surprising. But now it's an indelible part of pop culture. I knew what the big surprise ending was before I'd even seen the movie, so you lose any sense of mystery, and it's like that with the Phantom. We know what's going on with the character, so the filmmakers don't try and frame the narrative so it's all mysterious the way Leroux did. Overall, I think the book is well worth reading. I don't have too much else to say on the subject, really. I don't think the book's a work of genius, but the idea behind it certainly is. Taking classic mythology like Orpheus and the Underworld, fairy tales like Beauty and the Beast, and modern opera like Faust, all written in a realistic style to make you believe that all this actually could happen. That's pretty damn clever when you think about it. So, whatever you think about the book, the basic storyline is excellent, as is testified by the world's continuing fascination with all things Phantom. Why else would people go to see the musical hundreds of times? It's not just that the music is good, because you can listen to it on a CD anytime. No, they go again and again because they are moved by the story. And nearly 100 years after it was first published, that's an impressive testament to the brains of this little fat French dude who wrote pot boilers for a living. Well, that's my 5 francs on Leroux. Tune in next time for my thoughts on Susan Kay's Phantom.